You are watching the Dark Fantastic Network.
Unlike Marvel, which seems to have a clear plan and a consistent vision for its cinematic universe, with blockbusters like 2008's Iron Man and 2018's Avengers: Infinity War, DC Comics has been floundering for years, with various versions of the same characters appearing in movies and TV shows, with Batman, for example, being portrayed by 3 different actors with very different approaches to the character in the span of 10 years. But that wasn't always the case. Before the whole concept of a carefully planned cinematic universe became the norm, in the 1980s and 90s, DC pioneered the idea of a stylistically and thematically connected universe, with a series of movies and TV shows that changed the way comic book movies were made, and how audiences perceived them. It was a bold, groundbreaking approach that changed Hollywood forever. Tim Burton's Batman was released in the summer of 1989, grossing more than $400 million worldwide, and becoming the first true blockbuster based on a comic book in the history of cinema. Burton's Batman, with its dark tone, stylized production design, startling visuals, and grandiose musical score, broke box office records, sold billions worth of merchandise, and forced writers, artists, and filmmakers to reconsider their approach when dealing with the character. The film also raised the stakes, and reintroduced the character to people who were only tangentially familiar with its complex mythology. This led to the first step, however unintentional, in building a DC cinematic universe. In 1990, and high on the success of Tim Burton's Batman, Warner Bros. Greenlit a TV show based on another popular character from DC Comics, The Flash. Developed by Danny Bilson and Paul DeMeo, who took their cue from Burton's film, The Flash premiered on the 20th of September, 1990. Featuring a theme composed by Danny Elfman, who also wrote the score for Burton's Batman, and utilizing the genius of costume designer Bob Ringwood, who also worked on 1989's Batman, The Flash's pilot episode pushed the boundaries of what could be produced for television, with high production values, impressive effects, and a rousing score. But uneven writing, network interference, high production costs, and bad timing resulted in the cancellation of the show, after only 1 season. But it remains a cult favorite to this day. But Warner Bros. Pushed on, aware that the DC Comics brand could be further developed across different platforms. This led the studio to commission an animated series aimed at children, to capitalize on the massive success of Tim Burton's Batman, and its sequel, Batman Returns, released in 1992. The result was Batman, the animated series, which premiered on Fox Kids in September 1992. The series was created by Bruce Timm and Eric Radomski, who took inspiration from Burton's darkly gothic vision and dark tone, as well as the Art Deco stylings of the Fleischer Studios' Superman cartoons from the 1940s. With its tight writing, attention to detail, respect for the character's mythology, and Kevin Conroy's terrific performance as Batman, the animated series became an instant hit, and a favorite among fans. It also served as a spiritual continuation of Tim Burton's Batman, with its often dark stories dealing with violence, corruption, and the cost of being a hero, as well as using music composed by the composer of the original film, Danny Elfman. The success of the show led to the production of a feature film spin-off called Batman: Mask of the Phantasm, co-directed by Bruce Timm and Eric Radomski. Released on Christmas, 1993, Batman: Mask of the Phantasm underperformed at the box office, but was praised for its strong script, stunning visuals, dark storyline, and Mark Hamill's sinister turn as the Joker, and is considered by many fans to be one of the best adaptations of the Batman comics ever produced. This made the film, and the series it was based on, another building block of an unofficial cinematic universe, which started with the Flash TV series, and which would only grow stronger in the coming years, with the release of several other animated shows, all supervised by Bruce Timm, one of the original creators of Batman the Animated Series. These included Superman, Justice League Unlimited, and Batman Beyond, which all featured the version of Batman featured in the original animated series, and voiced by Kevin Conroy. This unofficial DC cinematic universe came somewhat to an end, when Tim Burton refused to direct the third Batman movie, Batman Forever, and with the cancellation of Justice League Unlimited in 2006. But the influence of this particular version of the cinematic universe is still felt today, in what is termed the DC Animated Universe, which still features the work of Bruce Timm, and uses many of the stylistic choices and versions of the characters established in the animated series that Bruce Timm and his team created. And with the announcement that a new audio drama was in the works that will continue the 1990s Batman, the animated series, developed by writer Alan Burnett, who was part of the original creative team behind the series, and DC Comics confirming in 2022 that Tim Burton's Batman and Richard Donner's Superman took place in the same universe in Dark Crisis, Big Bang Number 1, it seems that this version of the DC Cinematic Universe is still alive and kicking.
For more videos like this, please subscribe to the Dark Fantastic Network.